I'll be honest, I only have like a couple of really vague memories from my childhood of being at church at Christmas. I remember rehearsing for the Christmas pageant in the choir room down in the basement of our church. I kind of remember like sitting on the red padded pews singing Silent Night. To be honest, though, that's about it. I understood what Christmas was about. I understood it was about something religious, but I certainly didn't fully get it as a kid. I mean, I obviously knew the basics. There was a baby from like a million years ago. There was a manger or a barn or something. There were some farm animals. I don't know, a crazy magic star in the sky. A boy holding a shepherd's stick, as I remember. A few wizard-looking guys standing around being all peaceful. Some angels. All of that added up to a special thing. God having a son, I guess. Meh. None of that was anywhere close to being as compelling as what gifts might be under my Christmas tree at home, or Rudolph's nose in the night sky on Christmas Eve, or what desserts were being served at Grandma's house, or to be honest with you, the gifts and fun I would experience that time of year for my own birthday, which is on December 22nd if you're out shopping. Anyway, good for God. You know, he had a son, and Mary and Joseph, they seem great, and that baby is going to grow up and be important. Neat. Awesome. Happy birthday, Jesus. Cool. Pass me another cookie and I don't know, let's go open my gifts. I guess I just wish I had had a faith leader who could make it make sense for me as a kid. I wish I'd had a faith environment that could translate that old story into ideas that I could have understood and that had meaning. But I didn't. Those old stories were old and dusty and irrelevant to my life. My childhood faith experience was disenchanting. It pushed me away from spirituality. I'm sad to say that my soul was starving and I couldn't find any food for it that didn't taste like mush. If I have a chance to tell a story of Christmas to a kid today, here's what I might say. Well, first, I'd be really curious about how the kid understands the idea of God. I'd let them know that I have a really hard time understanding what God is sometimes. And then I'd give them permission to think about God in lots of creative ways. And for this story in particular, I'd invite them to think about God as simply a name for everything wonderful and big and magical and mystical that we don't really understand. Maybe we could even just think of God as a fantastic name for all the love in the world that we all kind of wish we could feel. Well, once upon a time, in a land of deserts and kings and empires and mystery, there lived this family, a sweet young woman named Mary and a loyal young man named Joseph. They were not rich or important people. They were regular folks, just like us. They were just regular folks like us. And one day, while Mary was just living her life, doing her regular stuff, she was visited by a bright light, something divine and holy, like a messenger of God's love. And it shocked her. But then she listened to what it had to say. And the messenger invited Mary to do something incredibly important. She was invited to be the mother of a little child. And between her incredible ability as a woman to bring life into the world and the power of God's love, all the love in the world, she would give birth to a little baby. And if she said yes, she and Joseph would get to raise this little baby with love. And the baby would grow up to be someone that people would tell stories about for thousands of years. Mary said yes. And it was really scary for her at first, but she was brave and strong. She said yes. She was going to be a mother, and the baby's like official name would be Jesus. But the big divine light that visited Mary said that the baby would have like an important nickname too. The baby's nickname would be Emmanuel. And this is really important because the name Emmanuel has a meaning. It means God with us, as in God would be with us. That's incredible, isn't it? The story of Christmas is that God chose to not just be like big, complicated ideas like love and wonder and mystery and magic. God chose to be human, just like me and you. God chose to be with us. And the story of Christmas is that Jesus is just a regular baby from a regular family. But inside that regular baby is God. God. All the love in the world. All the love in the world was inside that little baby. That little regular baby, a baby that cried, a baby that had dirty diapers, a baby that spit up on his mommy and daddy, a child that got in trouble sometimes, a child that probably got grounded and probably got a bad grade from a teacher, a child that was an emotional teenager, a child that was a conflicted young person, a child that felt sad and guilty and hopeful and weird and confused and lonely sometimes. A baby that was just a regular baby from a regular family. And that baby had all the love in the world inside it. That baby was filled with God. And maybe that means that we are too. Maybe that means that our friends are too. And maybe that means that the weird kid at school and the scary old man down the street, maybe they all have all the love in the world packed inside them too. And maybe if we can see all the love in the world inside this little baby from a regular family out in the desert, a baby that comes from mom and dad who have been struggling, a baby that lives in a place where there are unjust kings and power-hungry empires, a baby that would grow into a passionate young person and end up being humiliated and destroyed by the people he wanted to help. Maybe if we can see that he held all the love in the world inside of him, then maybe we can see that we hold all the love in the world inside of us too. Maybe this old story is meant to help us maybe it's meant to help us understand that God is with us. All the love in the world is always with us, and we can share it. We were born with the same ability to save people with love that Jesus had. And so maybe this old story is really inspiring. Maybe it's not just about a 2,000-year-old baby. It's about us. It's always been about us and how we hold inside us all the love in the world. Here's a short prayer. Love-filled God of the old stories, we know that you are with us today, and we know that the old stories remind us that we too are made of love, that we too can be saviors for people by sharing the love that is inside us, all the love in the world. Amen. Hey, Between is about you. Take this message out into your life this week and fill the space between you and every person you encounter with your sacred light. Merry Christmas. And know that I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you being a part of the Between community. My favorite church is the space between people. Go with God's love and create the church between.